Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Moss Norman, and today I want to talk to you about resources that every OMSCS student should use when they matriculate into the program. So in my last video about the OMSCS program, I got a lot of comments from students matriculating into the program and also prospective students. So I want to give you an edge when you enter into the program by providing some resources that the OMSCS program has. First, I'm going to talk to you about some of the tools that you're going to use in the program, and then I'm going to discuss some of the perks of being a student in the OMSCS program. By the way, I'm going to provide links to all of the resources that I lay out in the video in the description below. The first tool I want to talk about is Slack. If you haven't used Slack before, Slack is used for chatting and collaboration. And the OMSCS program has its own Slack workspace. In that workspace, there's channels for just about every course in the program. And in the course channels, students discuss the projects and the material in that course. Most of the courses live inside of the same Slack workspace, which is the OMSCS-Study workspace. But some courses actually have their own dedicated workspace. It's less common for a course to have its own workspace. A good practice when you start a new class is to just go to the OMSCS workspace and then go to the channels menu on the left-hand side of Slack and then search for your course. Sometimes it's by the name of the course, but other times they make the channel the course number, like CS6310. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the Georgia Tech GitHub service. You've probably heard of github.com. Well, Georgia Tech has its own instance of an internal GitHub service. So they have like an on-premise, it might be a cloud instance, but it's either an on-premise or a cloud private instance of GitHub specific for Georgia Tech. And when you access that service, you're going to log in with your Georgia Tech ID and password. The Georgia Tech GitHub service is free, and you'll end up using it in a lot of courses. Not only to collaborate on group projects, but I always uploaded my coding projects from each of the courses to the Georgia Tech GitHub. One caveat about using GitHub, not only Georgia Tech's GitHub, but even if you use the public GitHub, is to make sure that your coding projects are private. So when you make a repository dedicated to a class, or you might make a GitHub repository dedicated to a single coding project, make sure that you make that repository a private repository, because if you don't, you could get in a lot of trouble for basically sharing your project work with other students. The third service that I want to talk about is the OMSCS Reddit community. The OMSCS Reddit community was kind of a replacement to the OMSCS Google Plus community, but Google Plus was discontinued, and so most of the community moved to Reddit. I've provided a link to the OMSCS Reddit in the description. The OMSCS Reddit is very active, and there's a lot of valuable information that can be found in the threads of that community. If you have any questions about the program, a lot of faculty are active in the community, and you'll likely get a response from one of the faculty or someone very knowledgeable about the program. I encourage you, if you're a new student or a student who is thinking about applying, to join that community and ask questions there, because you'll get a lot of great answers. Having said that, before you post a question to the community, make sure to search previous threads, because there's a lot of repeat questions in that community, and you'll likely find a question that has already been answered that's similar to yours. The next resource that I want to talk about is OMSCentral. OMSCentral is a website that was actually created by an OMSCS student, and it was made to give students a platform for providing reviews on the OMSCS courses. It's been around for a long time, and it's a great resource for students to use when they want to know more about a particular class and what that class is like. In fact, my entire curriculum in the OMSCS program was defined by the reviews on the OMSCentral website. The next thing that I want to discuss are the perks of being an OMSCS student. Remember that when you're a student, not only in the OMSCS program, you get some really good perks. For instance, you get student discounts at various stores and online services. So when you become a student in the OMSCS program, make sure that when you're signing up for a new service, and even for your existing services that you already have signed up for, like Amazon Prime, for instance, type in the service name in Google followed by student discount. So for instance, look up Amazon Prime student discount in your Google search. Guess what? Amazon Prime is offered at a discounted rate for students. You would be amazed at how many services offer discounted rates for students. There are a few services that I'd like to highlight because I think they're a high value as a student to the program, and not only as a student to the program, but outside of the program, you might use these services just in your daily life. The first is the GitHub Developer Student Pack. The GitHub for Developers Student Pack has a large number of benefits associated with it. For instance, subscriptions with JetBrains, so you can get IDEs like PyCharm and Sea Lion. These are subscriptions that otherwise would cost you quite a bit of money if you weren't a student. The second thing I want to talk about is O'Reilly Books. You can get access to online O'Reilly Books for free through your student account. All you have to do is sign in with your Georgia Tech email address. You also get free access to Lynda, which includes hundreds of online learning courses. Thirdly, and this is a big one, is Adobe products. Adobe Software is definitely really expensive. If you sign into Adobe using your Georgia Tech email address, you're going to get access to a bunch of Adobe software for free. And let's not forget about cloud services. If you're interested in using AWS, for instance, you can use AWS by signing up for AWS Educate and receiving a promotional credit on your AWS account. I haven't looked too deeply into other cloud services, but I'm pretty sure that they offer promotional student discounts as well. I just want to give you an idea of all of the different kinds of services that you can get a discount on or even get for free as a student in the OMSCS program. Some classes will require you to draw diagrams like UML diagrams or wireframes like in human-computer interaction, for instance. And one service that is great for that and is free for students is LucidChart. So those are just a few examples of services that are provided to you as an OMSCS student, either at a discounted rate or they're entirely free. Again, that list is not all inclusive, but I wanted to give you an idea of what kind of services are available to you so you can fully take advantage of the perks of being a student in the OMSCS program. I hope you found the information valuable in this video, and if you liked it, please throw a like on the video. And if you have any feedback, be sure to comment below. Thanks for watching.